Hi everyone, this is Meir. This is Friday noon when I'm recording this. And I want to say that I'm so happy to speak with you. The only thing that bothers me, it's kind of a monologue. And I would love to have dialogue with people. That's why we'll sooner or later have another Zoom free session with everyone. Perhaps we'll do it next week. And what I want to talk about is that I met with a very exciting individual. And the meeting happened because one of my patients who had major retinal detachment, and her surgeon was sure that she will be legally blind in that eye, discovered her vision is 80% of normal vision after practicing with me. And that was 13 years ago, and she never forgot that. So she connected between me and her doctor. And the doctor really wants to document everything that I'm doing. I'll never forget it. I had once a 6-day eye class, and because I saw that 93% of the people who take my eye class see better. Not 80, not 60, 93%. And it happened again and again and again. I'll never forget, once in Brazil, we had 32 people, 31 saw better. And where is the documentation, everybody says? Well, I met with a very distinct neuro-ophthalmologist right now in Florida through Zoom. And we're going to do some experiments together. And I really hope to be documented because again, I'm hearing, like I heard from my good friend Alan, who went and saw his doctor. And his doctor was so surprised that his eye looked so good in spite of his illness, which is blinding illness, which is called retinitis pigmentosa. First it blinds you at night, and then it blinds you always. And his doctor was so impressed in how he sees. I work with my friend Eduardo, and he had terrible stroke of his optic nerve, and the result is the optic nerve is so destroyed that the ophthalmologist thought he will be blind for life. Well, his vision is not great, but he sees again and again. I see people who see better, and of course, lately we wrote a book with 43 authors. I'm only one author, and it's called A New World of Seeing, and it was really published by some vision therapists like Enoa Federico and also some others, like Nathan Oxenfeld. And I've written a chapter about a wonderful client of mine by the name of Marles. And she was born with cataracts. And one of the things we should know is that the surgery for cataract has to be done at the age of 2 weeks. And the reason is at the age of 8 weeks, you no longer can see. If the cataract blocked your vision, at the age of 8 weeks, the brain blocks your vision all the way. Now that did not happen to me because I did not see. I was the quickest braille reader. And only a little bit before the age of 17, I started to do eye exercises, and I built up very substantial vision, but not perfect. Well, my kids is different. They were operated in the right time, 2 and 3 weeks, and they even had to do secondary surgery at the age of 6 weeks. So the surgery was done on time, but there were many difficulties after that. And I was able to get my kids to see normal vision and even better. And they're now in their 30s, which is fantastic, just fantastic. That's so unusual. I submitted a chapter to the book, A New World of Seeing, that was gathered with Enoa Federico and Nathan Oxenfeld. By the way, Nathan Oxenfeld is a rising star in the world of natural vision, and I truly appreciate him and his work. And what I wrote was about Marles. Marles was born with cataracts. Now you have to understand that you have to be diagnosed on time, at the age of 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But Marles was diagnosed at the age of 11 weeks, 3 weeks too late. So she heard well. and thought well, and was very tactile, but did not see well. And in fact, she didn't pay attention to what she's seeing. Legal blindness isn't simply not seeing well. Legal blindness means not looking. Some people just lose 15-20% of their vision, but they don't look anymore. They get confused. In the case of Marles, not only did she have 5 or 6% vision altogether, but she didn't even use that much. So we worked, and her mother was so devoted. First, we looked at rivers, trees, because she met me in a retreat where I was teaching a 6-day class, and we had few sessions. Then her mother came. I happened to have gone several times to Germany to teach, especially near the Frankfurt area, and her mother brought Marles again and again to see me. She flew everywhere. She flew to southern France, to Paris, and to Israel. She's not going to go anymore to Israel, not these days because there's a war, but she's coming third time to San Francisco to see me. She went twice to Quebec, Canada to work with me. And she basically makes a point of seeing me at least twice a year. And last year she saw me once more in Germany after seeing me in Canada. So I would like to say that the mother is devoted. But one time, because she came to me again and again consistently, I decided to go and visit the mother and the family and the girl in her hometown, which is 2 hours from Munich. Beautiful town, holistically oriented. And the mother even arranged for me a lecture I didn't expect, and it was very nice. It was nearly 30 people. And then I worked with the girl. And so to begin with, we looked at everything. I had to slow down a terrible condition called nystagmus, which is involuntary movement of the eyes. And I was able to do it in her weaker eye. One of the wonderful things we did is made her move when she looked with that eye, made her do all kinds of actions, like take the hat of her grandfather and put it on her mother's head and then put it back on her grandfather. But sooner or later, the fact that she was able to work with her weaker eye made her see better with both eyes. And a strong eye is, of course, the left eye, in her case. Well, what was interesting is that sooner or later she was able to read the street sign of her house. And, she was 8.5, and she was surprised that her neighbor also has a number. She said, "My neighbor has a number?" And she started to see things she didn't see before. But the big change was when we were sitting in her backyard, and she was able to look at petals and count them. Who taught me that was my daughter. My daughter was born with cataracts, but we did operate in the right time. We went often to the beach, and on the way to the beach, she counted with a weaker eye, which is also the right eye in her case, 200 petals in less than 1 minute. She learned to activate the central part of the retina with her brain and compensate for the fact that her lens doesn't exist, because her lens was removed and there was no implant. And my kids, both of them, my son and my daughter, in their 30s, see better than anyone who was born with cataracts, which is really an amazing thing. Well, I wrote about Marles in that book, and I think that you would love to read that chapter. I like the title, A New World of Seeing, where you have 43 authors coming and explaining their experience. But very few people help low vision to transform. Marles transformed. Now she's looking at everything. And what happened to her with me is exactly what happened to me and so many of my clients. She saw worse than me when we started, by far. She sees now better. And I think very soon she'll see way better than her instructor, and that's me. And I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy that my kids have normal vision. I'm so happy that Marles is going to have close to normal vision when we'll finish our practice. And her mother probably will work very hard to make sure her vision eventually will be normal no matter what, because she has an amazing mother who is investing in her an awful lot. And Marles is really helping us right now with that work. It is so nice to see her every time that she sees me read another line on the chart and seeing better and better. So now, not only me, but I'll have a physician who will start to measure the improvement of children and adults as a result of my work. And I've been doing this work for more than 50 years, and I'm so happy that things will start to be registered. Well, so far for my happiness with meeting with the most educated ophthalmologist there is, neuro-ophthalmologist. And what I would like to tell you is that the class that we had was so successful. People saw so much better in that class, and people were so happy to work with me, from walking at night and looking at the park, from learning how to do the special exercise of shifting, which we have a nice clip in Instagram, which I would like us to send you a link to that clip. And I think we have it on YouTube as well. The link I want you to see today mainly is my interview in England many, many years ago. Self-Healing, My Life and Vision with Ian McKnight on Conscious TV. I think you're going to enjoy it. 100,000 other people did. And I would talk to you next week, and we will create a time for a Zoom session sometimes next week. Okay? Have a great weekend from your friend Meir.